works from 38 different artists are on display at the Montclair Art Museum in New Jersey. The exhibition, entitled The New Spirit, American Art in the Armory Show 1913, is a tribute to the centennial of the original Armory Show.
So we were surprised to find out that there was nobody else planning a show that would open exactly on the centennial of the Armory Show.
The show, originally known as the International Exhibition of Modern Art, was the first modern art show in the country, modeled after an art fair in Cologne, Germany. One of the Armory Show's co-organizers who visited that show, Walter Kuhn, thought America needed a show of its own.
And indeed, after the Armory Show, that was an issue that the European artists had received the lion's share of attention and perhaps had taken away from the sales and attention of the American artists.
While much attention has been paid to the European artwork like Matisse and Cezanne that were brought into the American Armory Show, the Montclair Art Museum has chosen to feature American artists and their influence.
It was our goal to say, you know, that is true, but at the same time, a lot was written about the American artists. They received a lot of attention and appreciation as well, and their work was quite rich in its variety and modernity.
The American art represented 2/3 of the work at the 1913 Armory Show.
This painting by Edward Hopper called Sailing from 1911 was one of the more important works in the Armory Show. It was the first sale of Edward Hopper's work, so at a moment when this young artist was starting to become better known, and of course in the 1920s his reputation would really explode. But at this early moment we see really actually one of the more progressive works in the show, the way that it's so broadly brushed and almost abstract in its treatment of this nautical subject.
All but one of the works displayed here were from the 1913 show in New York. The original exhibition also traveled to Chicago and Boston.
This work by Dawson, an untitled work, was particularly important because it was a work personally selected by Walter Popp, one of the main organizers of the Armory Show, when he visited Menier Dawson in his Chicago studio. Dawson was one of the pioneers of abstract art in America, and this particular work, he basically brought it in through the back door of the Art Institute of Chicago, hung it in the Armory Show, where it was up for about a week to 10 days before the very conservative co-director, associate director of the Art Institute of Chicago took it down and said, well, you can't have it up, it wasn't in the catalog.
In addition to the art, the Montclair Art Museum has some important memorabilia from 1913.
You have original sales books as well, which have been a recent find by Francis Nauman, an art historian and dealer, who donated them to the Archives of American Art. And we hadn't known where these were. The last time we knew about them was in 1963, so they haven't been shown for 50 years. And they are Walter Popp's personal sales books. He was the main sales agent.
And the sales go on as the Armory Show celebrates its centennial. The modern-day Armory Show is now held at Manhattan's Piers 92 and 94 on the Hudson River, where it's been for the last 9 years.